Hi, I'm Scott Byrum, coming to you from the PAAR office in beautiful Prescott. Today's video topic is new home development. I sit down with Mr. John Gorden of BloomTree Realty. The topics include common mistakes agents make when dealing with new homes and new home purchases, the rising cost of materials, as well as trends looking into the future. I hope you enjoy. Hello, my name is Scott Byrum, member of the Member Engagement Committee. Today I'm sitting with Mr. John Gorden.
Okay.
We are here today to talk about new home development. And before we get into it, I'd like to just give John the floor to give us a little bit of his background with new homes.
Well, I started selling real estate here in Prescott in 2004 and have been selling. I've probably sold 300, maybe 400 new homes during that period of time. I started off with Gorden and moved on from there. Probably 100, 120 Gorden homes. I don't know how many Mandalays and quite a few custom homes. Crystal Creek builders, Aspen builders, different builders like that that are custom builders.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you for taking the time today to do this interview. We'll start off with, what are the types of builders that you see with new home development?
Well, today we basically have three types of builders in Prescott. We have a production builder, which is the Mandalay and the Dorns. And then we have semi-custom builders, which is Carrington and a few others like that. And then we have a full custom line of builders, Aspen Homes, Crystal Creek Homes. There's probably 10 or 12 very, very good ones.
Okay, very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And now, where is their focus of building currently?
Well, I think the majority of those builders in those three categories are building. Let's break it out like this. Production builders buy lots in full. So they'll go into Granite Dells, they used to go into Prescott Lakes. Now they're out in Saddlewood, Ron James property out there. And so they'll take down 50 lots, 100 lots, 1,000 lots. And that gives them the buying power to be able to buy all of their product to be able to build the homes at a discounted rate compared to the average builder. Today, things are really turning around because of the lack of inventory. And now these production builders are starting a wait list for people. So if you went into one of their models and you said, I want to buy this model and I want to put it on the Walden Farms or the different areas, you have to go on a wait list for that. They have so many clients and they're so backed up. I think the production builders today are running 14 to 16 months before you're into a home. It's rough.
Okay, wow, that's quite a long time. All right, next question. So that was kind of the background with the builders per se, and what they're up to right now. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as a realtor, what resources could an agent or realtor use to learn better about the new home process or the materials, things like that?
Well, I think the number one thing agents need to do is they need to visit the production builders models, and they need to start to learn who works there and become friends with those agents that are there, because we have a lot of situations where somebody has contacted you to come, and they're going to come into town on a weekend, and they wind up here on a Friday, and they say, I have nothing else to do. Let me go out and look at the models. And as soon as they do that, boom, you're maybe cut out of that whole transaction. Some of them, depending upon your relationship with the salesperson at the models, will either call you and say, get out here right now, your clients are here, or they won't. And if they don't, then you stand a good chance of not having representation with that client. So one of the things you really need to do is you need to teach your clients things that they need to know when they get to town. Like, they need to know to contact you if they're in town to see if you're available to go look early. They need to know that if they don't do that, and if they go directly to the model, and if they decide they want to buy one of those, they have no representation. because that salesperson works for the builder or works for the developer. And chances are you're going to be out of the picture. So you need to make sure you have a really good line of communication with those clients.
Okay. Yeah, you covered, a lot there. I was gonna try to segue with common mistakes that you've seen buyers or a client, or I'm sorry, agents do with their clients. Would you say the number one would be not visiting with them the first time, not registering them properly?
Well, I'll just say what I always do.
Yeah.
When I'm communicating over the phone or over the internet or texting or emailing, whatever, I let them know if they do want to run around and take a look at some things, they stand a chance of not having representation. And then I explain to them what that means. That means that if you do go to a model home and you do buy something, or you don't put offers in on model homes, you actually buy them or you don't. There isn't any offering because there's no discounting. But you need to understand that they have the builder at that point has total control over that whole situation. You have nobody to go to say, hey, he said he was going to do this and he didn't do it. Where if you have representation, you have a backup. You have you basically who will be representing the buyer, and you go to the developer and you say, that's not right. We're going to need to talk about this. Okay.
Very good. Thank you, John. Looking into the future, do you see the trend of new homes continuing the way it is?
Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, new homes are going to be probably 70% of what's being sold in this area for the next 4 to 5 years because of COVID. A lot of people are locked into their homes now. They've refinanced them. They've got better interest rates and they're staying put. So the biggest problem, as everybody knows, is we have no inventory. And so the only way to increase the inventory is to build new homes. So the thing I always do too, we have different software packages we use to be able to communicate with those folks that we've sold homes to. And if you use those software packages properly, you're able to stay in touch on a monthly or quarterly basis with those folks, letting them know what the house is worth at any point in time, letting them know that it's a great market right now, interest rates are down. And I'm not going to get political, but with the new folks that are sitting in Washington, the interest rates are going to start climbing. They're forecasting anywhere from 5 to 6% for a 30-year conventional in the next 24 months. So, I mean, this is the time to buy. The biggest problem we have today is that people wouldn't mind selling their home. The problem is if they sell it, where are they going to go? If they want to stay in Prescott, there's not a whole lot of choices for them to either downsize or upsize because there's very, very little availability. So that's our problem. So that's why new home sales are really important right now.
Right. Yeah. Because people who want to sell their home can't move down the street or to the nicer side of the neighborhood because the inventory is so low. So a solution for them is to think of a new home if they're thinking of selling.
Yeah, I mean,
at all.
Usually the way that works today is that if the agent that sold them their home, stays in communication with them, they would call that agent and say, hey, we're thinking about downsizing. We're thinking about upsizing. We're thinking about moving into a different community. Maybe they want to have a lot of amenities. So they're looking at Talking Rock, or they're looking at Hacienda, or looking at Prescott Lakes, Stone Ridge, to be able to find those amenities right where they live. And so if that happens, that's good, because then you need to let the people that you work with, the agents that are at your brokerage, know you've got a potential sale coming up and buyers coming up. So you start to generate activity that way. So.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Well, to recap here, we have, you said up to 12 types of, production builders.
Oh, there's probably more than that.
Probably more than that. Custom builders, obviously.
Right.
Typically, the building is being up north of, you'd say, Williamson Valley, north.
Not north of Williamson Valley, in Williamson Valley.
In Williamson Valley. Okay.
That seems to be the highest growth area right now, and the same thing with
north
the
of 89A with
Yes.
the new PV.
Yes. And also the same thing with that, yeah. Going out Legend Hills and those areas out there where there's some land, we find that the majority of folks that are coming in from Southern California or from California just in general, they don't want to see their neighbors. They want to have a little bit of area there so that they're not peeking down on somebody and somebody's not peeking down on them. So people are starting to buy a lot more out in Williamson Valley, in the like Inscription Canyon, Williamson Valley Ranch,
Right.
Talking Rock, fairly high end, but Talking Rock is, there's a lot of houses under production right now out there because people have a few dollars, and you always have that guy that bought the house in Inglewood in California, in Southern California, paid $180,000 for it in 1990 and sold it for $700,000 to $750,000, and he's got $500,000 liquid. He's looking to find a place, and that's a scenario of our buyers.
Okay. Very cool. And the time frame for, I don't want to pin you to any one time frame, but a general for a new build, 14 to 16 months out, you would say?
I would say, depending upon the builder and how busy they are, and also their availability to get lumber, because lumber is the biggest problem we're having right now. I would say anywhere from 12 to 16 months,
Okay.
somewhere right around there. The county is taking about 45 to 60 days to get permits issued. The city is probably about the same. Prescott Valley is a little bit quicker. Chino, I'm not really sure of Chino. I haven't done a whole lot out there. But I mean, that's what's happening with timing. So if you've got somebody that's thinking about buying something in Prescott, and they come to Prescott and they haven't put their house on the market yet, or they're thinking about putting their house on the market, and they want to buy something here with a contingency that their house sells, you can forget that. That'll never happen again. Not until we get 1,000 homes back on the market again, and we're down to about 320 right now. So you got to be really careful with that. You've got to really understand your buyer and know what your buyer's capabilities are, what their price range is, what they're looking for, what the topography of the lot is. Do they have a certain minimum square footage they want to have? And then if it's truly going to be a custom build, which is a build where production builders are not building in that area. There is a couple of semi-custom builders, and semi-custom builders will build in production areas like Granite Dells and in the Yavapai Hills and those kind of areas, and Jasper. But they'll also build off-site, which is really nice. But then you're still looking at 14 to 16 months.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Well, I think that that covers it. There is quite a bit of information out there. And I think bottom line for this is from this conversation is that it's up to the agent to really know their stuff beforehand. And then once they know their buyer, can then direct them accordingly to what their buyer, needs are. And if they're coming from California and they have, a little more in the bank, then there are quite a few options for them here, especially with the new homes.
Mm-hmm.
So John, where can people reach you if they have any further questions?
Well, I've got a couple different websites. One's called PrescottsBestHomes.com. The other one is called MyPrescottSubdivision.com. If you want to get a hold of me, you can find my information on there.
Okay.
All right. Be more than happy to help you.
Thanks again for taking
Okay.
the time out of
You
your
bet.
day.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, John.
Okay.
All right. If you'd like more information regarding new home development, PAAR will be hosting a broker breakfast in April. We'll be having several local builders speak at the event. The time and location is yet to be announced, so be on the lookout for that. Thanks for watching.